and always wore a red wrapper tied tightly around his waist. His voice was loud, his laughter heavy, and his stall was always full of customers. People loved his meat. They said it was always fresh, always soft, and always plenty. But behind that famous smile, behind that stall filled with meat, behind the praise of customers, was a dangerous secret. A secret only the night gods and the spirits of the forest knew. The rise of Odenigwe. Odenigwe did not begin as a popular butcher. In fact, for many years, he was known as the poorest meat seller in Abatheu. His stall was empty. His knife was blunt. His pockets had no coins. Other butchers laughed at him. "Oh, Odenigwe, your meat has no buyers. You better go and learn farming. Maybe you are not meant for butchering." He tried everything, cleaning his stall, shouting louder than others, reducing his prices, but nothing changed. People always chose the other butchers. One night, after selling nothing from morning till evening, Odenigwe sat in his small hut, frustrated and hungry. He stared at the little lantern glowing weakly and said, "I am tired of suffering. If success refuses to come to me, I will go and find success myself." He remembered the stories his grandmother told him, stories of a hidden shrine deep inside a Roko forest, where a spirit granted power and wealth to anyone willing to pay the price. At first, he pushed the idea away. But hunger pushed it back. Failure pushed it back. Shame pushed it back. So, one cold night, Odenigwe wrapped a cloth around his shoulders and walked alone into the dark forest. The shrine of shadows. The forest was quiet, too quiet. Every step Odenigwe took made the dry leaves crack loudly. Owl eyes watched him from the trees. He walked for almost 2 hours before he saw a red glow far ahead. It was the shrine. A small hut made of black wood, smoke rising from its roof, and strange symbols drawn on the ground. Odenigwe hesitated. But the hunger in his stomach reminded him why he came. He stepped forward. Suddenly, a deep voice rose from inside the shrine. "Who enters the house of shadows?" Odenigwe dropped to his knees. "It is me, Odenigwe of Abatheu. I came for help." The ground trembled lightly. A figure slowly stepped out. It was the shadow priest, an old man with chalk-white eyes, a staff made of bones, and a wrapper filled with cowries. He circled Odenigwe like a hunter studying prey. "Why have you come?" "I want success," Odenigwe whispered. "I want customers. I want riches. I want people to buy my meat." The priest laughed, a sharp, dry, terrible laugh. "You want customers? Even if it requires juju." "Anything," Odenigwe answered without thinking. The priest's eyes glowed. "Then you will do as I say." He led Odenigwe inside the shrine. There were skulls, pots, feathers, and charms hanging everywhere. The priest opened a large clay pot filled with red liquid. "In this pot is the power of attraction," he said. "When you rub this on your meat, everyone will desire it. Even those who are not hungry will come to buy. But remember, the spirits do not work for free." Odenigwe swallowed. "What is the price?" The priest stared at him slowly, then whispered, "Every month, you must bring me something from your life." "Something like what?" The priest smiled. "You will see." He handed Odenigwe a small calabash filled with the red juice. "Use only 3 drops a day. If you use more, the spirits will get angry. If you forget your sacrifice, the spirits will collect what they want." Odenigwe nodded. That night he returned to Abatheu with a charm that would change everything. A new butcher is born. The next morning, Odenigwe woke early, cleaned his stall, sharpened his knife, and prepared his meat. Before opening market, he took the calabash, shook it carefully, and let 3 drops fall on the meat. There was a soft hiss, like steam rising from a boiling pot. At first, nothing happened. But then, a woman walking by suddenly stopped. What is that sweet smell?" Another man rushed toward the store. "Odenigwe, your meat is smelling delicious today." Soon 5 people gathered. Then 10. Then 20. By afternoon, Odenigwe had sold everything. The other butchers stared in shock. By evening, he returned home with more money than he had ever held in his life. And for the first time in many years, he smiled. His life had finally changed. The price of power. The first month passed smoothly. Odenigwe sold out every day. People visited from other towns just to buy his meat. Traders called him Odenigwe the Great. Children ran to greet him each morning. But the first moon cycle was ending. And Odenigwe forgot something. The sacrifice. On the night of the final day, As he slept, he had a dream. A frightening dream. He saw the shadow priest standing at the foot of his bed. "You have forgotten your promise," the priest said, voice echoing like thunder. "The spirits are hungry. Pay now." Odenigwe woke up sweating. His chest was beating fast. That morning, he took money from his earnings and rushed to the forest. He placed the money on the shrine floor. The shadow priest shook his head. "The spirits do not want your money." Odenigwe swallowed. "Then what do they want?" The priest smiled slowly. "A drop of your blood." Odenigwe felt fear, but he stretched out his finger. The priest cut it lightly and allowed the blood to drip into the clay pot. The pot hissed again. The priest nodded. "You may go. But next month, the price will be higher." Odenigwe shivered. But he walked away. Success with a shadow. Weeks passed. Odenigwe's name spread across several villages. He built a bigger store. He bought better equipment. He wore clean clothes. He began working with pride. But each month, the sacrifice grew bigger. First, a drop of blood. Then, a cup of blood. Then, a live chicken. Then a goat. With each sacrifice, the shadow priest said the same thing. "The spirits have tasted power. They want more." Odenigwe told himself he would stop. But greed whispered to him every day. "Look at your success, Odenigwe. You cannot go back." And so he continued. Even when fear crept into his dreams. Even when shadows moved strangely behind him at night. He continued. Suspicion in Abatheu. One thing about power is that it never hides for long. People in Abatheu began talking. How is Odenigwe selling this much? Why do customers leave other stores and go to his own? Is he using something? Is it natural? Even other butchers became angry. He is stealing our customers. We must find out the truth. This is not normal. One day, a young boy named Chidom, who helped traders carry their loads, overheard two butchers whispering. Odenigwe must be using juju. Chidom was curious. He had always wondered why Odenigwe's meat smelled unusually sweet. So, that night, he hid near Odenigwe's store. Around midnight, he saw Odenigwe come out with a knife and a small calabash. He watched him drop the red liquid on the meat. Shoo! Smoke rose for 1 second. Chidom trembled. So the rumors were true. He ran and told the elders the next morning. The elders gathered secretly and discussed. Odenigwe is using harmful powers. He must be stopped. But how? He is strong, and the spirits may protect him. We need wisdom to handle this carefully. And so, they began watching closely. The final sacrifice. One evening, Odenigwe sat in his hut counting his money when the room suddenly
The spirits want a heart from the bloodline.
The next sacrifice
Your
is
unbelief.
Odenigwe froze. It was the shadow priest's voice. But I just sacrificed a goat last month, he said fearfully. Yes, the voice replied. And now the spirits want something bigger. What do they want? The shadows in the room twisted and formed a face. Your heart beat. Odenigwe jumped up. My heart beat. Do you want to kill me? The voice laughed. No. The spirits want a heart from your bloodline. Odenigwe staggered backward. You mean, someone from my family? Yes. My wife? No. Not her. My son? No. Then who? The shadows moved again. Your unborn child. Odenigwe screamed. No. Impossible. My wife is only 3 months pregnant. Power has a price, the voice said. Pay, or lose everything. The shadows disappeared. Odenigwe fell to the floor crying. No, not my child, not my blood. He suddenly realized how deep he had gone. He realized he had crossed the line. He had taken too much from spirits that give nothing for free. He made a decision. He would go to the shrine at dawn. And end everything. Odenigwe enters the forest again. Elders secretly follow him. The shrine vibrates with dark energy. Odenigwe begs the priest to free him. The final battle. The shadow priest refuses and summons spirits. The shrine floor cracks open. Shadows try to swallow Odenigwe. Elders jump out and confront the priest with holy items. They chant cleansing words. The calabash breaks, the spirits vanish. The shadow priest falls lifeless. Odenigwe is free. The forest becomes silent. Odenigwe cries in relief. He protects him until they reach the village. Confession
I
in the
confess
market.
my greed, my
The
fear,
villagers
my
gather
mistakes.
around Odenigwe.
The punishment is 6
He
months
kneels and
without selling
explains
meat. I
everything.
confess
His
my
greed,
greed,
fear,
my fear, my
mistakes.
mistakes. The
Shock and
punishment is
murmurs
6
spread.
months without selling meat.
The
I
elders
confess
announce a
my
punishment,
greed, my
6
fear, my
months without
mistakes.
selling meat.
The punishment is 6
Months of
months without
humility.
selling meat. I confess
Odenigwe
my
helps the
greed,
poor
my
and
fear,
learns
my
humility.
mistakes. The punishment
He
is
prays
6
daily and
months
avoids
without selling
shortcuts.
meat.
His wife gives birth safely. Odenigwe names his son Camilla. God has done it. Return to normal life.
gotten it.
The ban is lifted. Odenigwe sells meat again, this time normally. People slowly trust him. He becomes known for honesty, not juju. He warns young men against shortcuts. Closing message. Odenigwe grows old, peaceful.
The road of shortcuts
He tells
always
this story to
ends
everyone.
in darkness.
The road of shortcuts always ends.
The road of shortcuts
Abatheu
always
remembers
ends
him not
in
as the
darkness.
butcher who used juju, but as the man who chose redemption.